let's talk about the game itself first and overall World Cup. Just to make it clear, they lost 4-0, which means they're out of the World Cup. But go.
Yeah, they finished third. Australia got 6 now. Nigeria has 5 points. Canada has 4. And then Ireland finished with 1. So,
your thoughts?
Yeah, it was fucking dreadful. What do you,
I thought you were gonna go on a huge rant.
Bro, it was terrible. Like, you made me lose sleep. That's what, like, if it was a game, it was like at 3-4 o'clock, I would have gotten over it.
Technically, it was 3 o'clock.
No, like
PM.
Yeah. Like, I would have gotten over it.
Yeah.
But you made me lose sleep, and I'm still catching up to sleep this week right now.
Yeah.
So, no, like, it was just terrible. Like, right, there's excuses to be made, obviously.
Which I'm gonna get into in a sec.
Which will happen, right? But like at this point, the game that the players put on the field, the coach put on the field, right? What they showed on the field, that's on the players and the coach. All right. Like, there's a difference between the Nigeria game and this game. The Nigeria game, you could tell that they weren't prepared. And that's obviously, they didn't have those friendlies before the World Cup to
they didn't
prepare.
execute either, but yeah.
But yeah, they didn't execute, but like you could tell, like, there was a little bit off by that. But you know what they were doing in the Nigeria game that they didn't do in Ireland and in Australia? They were still hustling. They were still pressing. They were still winning 50-50 balls. They were defending well. Right? That shit just on the players. That's hustle. That's what you... Like, I could do that. Right? You could do that. But like, genuinely, those things are like... That's just a skill issue. That's a player issue right there.
I would skill issue differently, hustle issue, like mindset issue.
Yeah, no, it's still same thing.
Coaching, I'm gonna go into the coaching. Like, I'll let you go into coaching in a second. Bev Priestman, as much as I praise her in-game changes, which she's done well, her tactics haven't been there. I don't know how much is like she really wants to be Christine St. Clair or not. But obviously she got it wrong. The attack is nowhere to be seen. I understand Janine Becky's injured. Jesse Fleming was injured the first game, which is why nothing was executed properly. Ireland, the first half was just more no effort, whereas the second half there was effort and you saw the changes. But gotta look at the coaching a little bit there because you always don't want to play from behind. And for whatever reason, the defense fell apart in the third game. Like the first two games,
fell apart.
That one question I was gonna ask that guest was like, does Canada have the best defense? And then all of a sudden that game happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of that was like. Again, I was listening to the Northern Football Podcast hosted by Peter Galindo, Alex Gange-Ruzic, if I'm saying that correctly, and I forgot the other guy. He's a host, but they were mentioning like similar things. Like there was no communication on the field. It seems like Jade Riviere didn't know where to be. Quinn was confused of where to be. Now you're doing the same thing as you did in the Olympics. The problem with that was you don't have Desiree Scott. She's out injured. You don't have, Jade Rose. You don't have Nichelle Prince on the field because she came back from injury. Steph Labe was your goalie, right? So you're asking Quinn and Julia Grosso to, who didn't start then, to start and play that CDM role, which they're not. Quinn is more of an 8. Grosso's more of an 8/10, if you want to say it, right? Girls like Jordan Heidema didn't start back then. Now she's a starter. Jade Riviere, same thing. So like half the team was different and they were playing the same tactics. So that's where the other thing was. And I'm going to get to the federation because the lack of practice also showed. But yeah, before I go into that.
Yeah. Obviously, there's blame to be thrown around everywhere, but we can't.
Like, we're not saying.
We cannot blame. The players need to be at fault,
lack of
and
effort,
the coaching need
Christine
to be at fault.
Christine St. Clair said it perfectly. Now I'm going to get into the Canada soccer side of things. She essentially said about the federation, it's not on them for how we performed, but I hope they wake up and realize like we have the talent and potential to step up and stuff. Now, this is where I'm going to go. Everything you said I agree with. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, right? This is not me and you arguing. But I'm going to go at Canada soccer a little bit now because we already kind of went on the players and the men's side of things. We went to the now we're going after the women. Again, everybody watching at home that's into Canada soccer or whoever watches Canada soccer, we're not blaming the players. The players deserve 100% of the blame. The coaching staff deserves 100% of the blame as well. But two things can be right. And but it's also not a coincidence when the glory days of the men were when they qualified for the fucking World Cup, right? Moments after, labor issues, federation issues come out. They struggle at the World Cup. They struggle at the Gold Cup. They put a dreadful performance in the Nations League. The women, they win the Olympic gold. Look what happened. They go on. They had that one tournament against the U.S. in the final, in which they lost. They could have qualified for the World Cup. Oh, sorry, the Olympics. Not just to the World Cup, but and the Olympics, with the U.S. ended up winning. Outside of that performance, they performed well. The minute the She Believes Cup comes out, same thing happens. Labor issues. They're on strike. You're gonna sue them. Blah blah blah. Right? During this World Cup, the men cease and desist letter comes out. Yes, was that some of a distraction? For sure. Again, I'm not saying that it's 100% on the federation for the way the woman performed, but it's not a fucking coincidence. The woman carried this this program since 2012, especially. The men were nowhere to be fucking found. The women were the reason why Canada Soccer was in this position. Otherwise, me and you would not fucking give a shit about Canada Soccer at all if we had no reason to it. Do we watch cricket? No, because fucking Canada's not involved properly. I understand we're Indian, but I'm not. That's a different side of things. Or you look at other sports as well, right? Basketball. Did we give a shit about Canada basketball until now? Not really. The women finally are doing decent. Kia Nurse is leading the way, but now we're gonna get into the FIBA World Cup, but we're excited to watch because Canada basketball is doing something. The progress the women and then eventually the men made, huge shout out to John Herdman because he was the big factor for both sides of things. Now we're taking a step backward. How the hell do we not have a proper striker? I understand Jordan Heidema is not performing at the international level. She's doing well at the club level, right? This isn't like a bum ass player who's not doing well. There's a reason why PSG picked her up, but how come she's not doing well to succeed Christine St. Clair, right? Before this fucking World Cup, and I understand that the women, there are other countries in this World Cup that did not have the funding or whatever, but their expectations are different. I understand Nigeria doesn't have that. I understand Vietnam. I understand Philippines did not have that. But Canada Soccer just showed you they won Olympic gold. Where is their training? Where is their practices? Because it's fucking bullshit that they only had to play 3 She Believes Cup games and 1 closed friendly that we don't know what happened in. And then the She Believes Cup games were under mega distraction because they were genuinely on strike. Right? The men's side of things. You finally have a fucking superstar, arguably one of the faces of overall athlete in Canada, in Alphonso Davies. You can mark it off of him. Yeah, you signed this 20-year deal with CSB, and I understand there's some benefits with CSB that we got the CPL League, which is why we got the World Cup. And I'm not gonna ramble too much on that because we wanted a guest for that reason. But a 20-year deal sounds pretty stupid right now. If it was a 5-year deal and then you renegotiate, that makes much sense. But they gotta fucking wake up because you're telling me that no one can succeed Christine St. Clair? How the hell are the US women and men propelling? The U.S. men do not give a shit. The U.S. as a whole have basketball ahead of soccer, has football ahead of soccer, has baseball ahead of soccer. How the hell, now you could even argue hockey a little bit, is up there tied with soccer right now. It makes no sense to me that you have no proper professional league, which, shout out Diana Matheson, the Project 8 is starting in 2025. If it goes well, that's the key thing. We don't know. We have a cousin, and I'm saying this is my opinion. This is not anything Jeevan telling me or whatever the case may be, or his parents are telling me. This is strictly my opinion. I don't know if you're going to share the same opinion. But how the hell do the women, the U17, the U20 women's, the U17 and U20 men's do not perform well recently? The U17 and 20 women do not perform well at the World Cup.
So
how are you going to develop these players?
So when we were watching Jeevan's game for the qualifiers, right? Yeah. Canada played USA in the semifinals.
Huge difference.
There was a huge difference. Reason being, the commentator said himself. Canada had what? 1 or 2 camps, right?
Something like that, yeah.
1 or 2 camps, and USA had like 6, 7.
Yeah, so, I'm not going on this tangent. I don't know who's going to watch this. I don't know if I'm making even any sense talking about this. This is beauty of the podcast. This is where I'm sharing my opinion. 100% I agree with Joven about the women performing poorly, and 100% I agree with him about the men performing poorly. That has nothing to do with it. They got to be a little bit more professional than that. But it also, you got to blame the federation for not setting up proper training camps, not setting up proper friendlies against the top countries of the world. None of this bullshit, let's play a friendly against Curacao before a World Cup. I'm talking about if you're playing England in the first round, or first group game, or in Canada's case, you're playing Croatia, are they going to fucking play even Poland at the most? All right?
This is a European country.
Just a European country. Canada might qualify for the Copa America. Okay, are they going to play other Uruguayan or other South American teams that are not in their group? Are they going to play these European teams? We don't know. There's rumors saying that only one of the teams, out of the men or women, could go on the on their international break. Only one of them could go. How does that make sense? And it's gonna be the woman probably first because they have to qualify for the Olympics, and we don't know how much of this is gonna get better, both on their performance side and their coaching side, plus their the negotiations. Sophie Schmidt just retired. Next to St. Clair, she put Canada Soccer on the map. Christine St. Clair played her last World Cup game, and we don't know if this was her last official game. They went out like that. Now, that's on the players, but that's also on Canada Soccer.
Same with Atiba Hutchison.
Atiba Hutchison went out bad as well. So, I don't know. At this point, like, we love soccer. We're so happy Canada is involved. We didn't know what the hell was going on behind the scenes. Now we do, and we hope it gets better, but we don't know if it is.
Bro, okay, so I'm just gonna say this, right? When we saw the woman win bronze in 2012 Olympics, right?
2012 and 2016, yes.
2012, yeah, but like I'm just going in timeline, right?
Which they were screwed for a gold medal game, but anyways, continue.
How, like, once we learned about that, we were actually pumped up to watch the 2015 World Cup, especially also it was in Canada.
It was in Canada.
Right? And then we got pumped up to watch the 2016 Olympics again.
And they won bronze.
They won bronze. The 2020 summer, well,
2019 World Cup was bad.
2019 World Cup was bad, but we still watched the games, right?
Yeah.
And then what? The next one was the 2020 Olympics, which was in 2021 for,
yeah,
everyone knows why. Whereas gold medal, Tokyo, we were up in the morning watching.
I was on the packed SkyTrain going to work.
Yeah, we were watching the games, right?
Yeah.
So,
top of the world.
We got excited. So then when we learned that Canada
men's team
made that little, what they had to like play two qualifiers, obviously.
They made it out.
They had to qualify.
Usually they don't even make the Ocho. It's called the Ocho. The 8 teams and the top 3 make it, and the 4th team goes to
they don't even make the Ocho, right?
Yeah.
And they made the Ocho, and then we got all hyped up. And that's not only us. The stadiums are jam-packed in the snow.
Yeah.
Right?
The Azteca.
We
beat USA and Mexico. We drew the Mexican team at Azteca in Mexico.
So now you're getting a product, right, that's sellable, that's watchable in both sides of the program at that point, which was
never the case until
which was legit a year ago,
mainly the
right?
woman. Mainly
like
the woman was only carrying them, but yeah,
but 1 year ago you had a thing where like
2021
the qualifiers were like legit 1 year ago, right?
Yeah.
So you had a thing where both the men and the women were at their peak.
Yeah.
Basically, and you had a product. So it was a different story if they're both shit and you're not getting any money. Right? But like, you got a product, people are watching, people are buying the tickets, and you take a step backwards? Like, worse even before how do you go worse before when they were shit? Like they're worse right now than they were than when they were like when the teams were shit. They were in a better situation then than they are now.
Yeah,
like, so I don't understand that. I don't understand like
I don't blame the players for wanting more money because they're outplaying exactly what they did. They're carrying the name Canada on the map in soccer, right? Like again, I'm not absolving their play at the both of their respective World Cups and other tournaments they have played. I'm not absolving that, but I'm still saying, future sakes, how is this team gonna improve? Jeevan has a sister that plays soccer. Is it going to work? Is a U17 World Cup even going to happen in Indonesia this year? We don't know because we don't know what the details behind the CSB, CSA shit is. And yeah, I think I'm going to just leave it there. It's frustrating because we finally, when people ask us who we root for the World Cup, we want to say Canada. Like when I say Spain, you say Argentina, whatever, right? Well, especially people that don't know soccer much, like why not Canada? Because they never fucking make it. I was so happy and pumped that we qualified for the World Cup, and it's because we did not host it, unlike the one in 2026, which we probably should have qualified for anyways based on recent performance and the World Cup qualifiers. We genuinely qualified and topped the Ocho. So that's the frustrating part for me. Canada Soccer needs to figure their shit out. Yes, the players need to figure their shit out and perform better. And yeah, we go on from there because if Canada Soccer can't figure their shit out, Bev Priestman and John Herdman both have kind of stated like they were willing to leave as well. And I don't think you'll find anyone better on the men's side for sure that you're going to get, because if you can't afford John Herdman or the team properly, how the hell are you going to afford a top level coach? Unless there's someone completely we don't know about. And the women's side of things, there are some people that are mentioned, but again, I don't know them personally, like not at a personal level. I don't know the coach / former Canadian player personally. Carmelina Moscato, the girl that was...
she was an analyst.
The analyst. She was arguably the coach. But Peter Galindo on his podcast said, why would she want to... She left Tigres. I don't know if she was coaching the men or the women. because they were having funding issues and stuff. Why the hell would she come here?
Yeah, so it just genuinely recently, after, I don't know, like 1 year ago when you're at your best, 1 year later, everything just fell apart with the federation, the money, the players playing poorly, coaches not putting out their best tactic and losing the battles before. So it just all fell apart.
Everything from players to coaching to the federation is the reason why the women got out of the World Cup.
Yeah,
really.
so it genuinely...
I genuinely do believe, though, if the federation was okay and like good terms, I understand the women signed an interim thing, but it's an interim thing. I felt like they would have been performing way better because they would have had the camps and stuff. But again, to your point,
you never know. They didn't hustle.
Yeah.
If you don't hustle, you're not winning games.
But again, yeah, to that point.
Like Australia and Ireland outran you.
Yeah.
So like you're not winning that game no matter how many camps.
Like we said, both of us make our points. We both agree with each other. Both
like,
things are right.
Yeah.
From both men and women perspective.
Everyone is to blame.